Hey, this is Venger Satanis, and this is a part 2, a follow-up video to the one I was making on Dungeons & Dragons Next. And I'm going to be talking about the same thing I was talking about in the last video. Ideas for the 5th edition, what could be done differently. I've decided to start a new campaign and start playing Dungeons & Dragons together. It was kind of, that decision was brought upon me, or brought about by the 5th edition, hearing about that and just kind of getting excited about that. And then just kind of took off from there and been watching videos and reading blogs and websites and reviews of books and other PDFs and things like that. And the whole OSR, or old school revolution or renaissance, not sure if it's one or the other or both. Anyway, that kind of opened my eyes and blew me away, because I'm like, yeah, why don't I just, take the best stuff from all the editions, but definitely start with the basic D&D and Advanced Dungeons & Dragons from the 80s, and build on it with the things I like from 3rd edition and the things I like from 5th edition, and maybe even incorporate just a couple 4th edition things like races and classes, like the Tiefling, I always thought was pretty cool, the Warlock and Warlord classes. So this is a short list I've come up with, about 6 things that I just wanted to hit upon and see what you think. I think this would work good for 5th edition because it's also things that I'm going to incorporate into the game that I'm going to run very soon, in a couple weeks. A magic point system. I mean, I think it's time for the magic system of D&D to be updated a little bit. I'm sure this system is prevalent in other role-playing games. I'm not sure exactly which ones, but like, take your standard 3rd level fireball spell. Okay, if you're in a dire emergency, and say you know the spell, it's in your book, or you have a scroll or something like that, but you're only 2nd level, and you get like X amount of magic points per day to spend, but you need this fireball spell, or else your whole party is going to be wiped out, or you're going to die at least. So you need to do this. I mean, you're cornered, you need fireball, or else, kiss everything goodbye. I'm just coming up with these numbers in my head. But let's say at 2nd level you have 20 magic points, and it costs like 15 magic points in order to cast a fireball spell. Well, you're pretty much going to run out of juice after you do that. But at least, you can save ass and cast it. And, then after that, figure out what you're going to do. Either rest, or, make something work with the other 5 points, remainder of magic points, something like that. And then to go further into that, let's say you're 6th level, same thing, fireball. You only need it at like half strength. And so, say at 6th level you have, 60 magic points. And basically you only need like a 7 magic points or a half strength fireball. And you have a whole bunch of other spells that you want to cast later in the day. So just cast a fireball at half strength, just spend the 7 magic points. And I'm just using magic points just because, it's just easy. I'm sure there's a better name for it, but just go with it. So you can adjust the levels. Going even further from that, what if you needed to extend the fireball's range this time? You could add, instead of 15 magic points, just spend 20 magic points. What if you want to really jazz it up and really personalize it, and not only make it your own, but make it specifically do something that Fireball is not intended to do. Like, you want indigo lightning fire, like shooting down, all the way down, like a 10-foot wide corridor. You know, that's definitely outside the limits of what a normal Fireball spell can do. But why not? You know, maybe that's going to cost double. Now it's 30 magic points. You know, but then you can do it, and then you can have the rest of your magic points to do whatever. You know, maybe you could even go beyond your allotted magic points. But then each time you do, like let's say you have your first level and you have 10 magic points, but you want to spend 12. Well, after you've used up the 10, if you really want to cast this, then maybe it burns up 2 hit points, or 2 temporary constitution points. Something like that. I don't know, I think that would be cool. Then you could, you know, have a lot more range and a lot more, I don't know, custom viability of magic potential, or, you know, your wizard isn't locked into like, oh, well, I could cast Fireball today, or I could cast it tomorrow, and you know, it's got to be exactly this Fireball. I mean, that doesn't even make sense. It's magic. You should be able to do pretty much whatever you want within certain boundaries. And that gets me into my next point. You know, why aren't we able to custom make spells that easily? I'm sure there's some rule in some book where it says, yeah, under certain circumstances, you know, when the moon is gibbous and, you know, that constellation is in Aries, you can, you know, scribe your own spell and make it do what you want and things like that. But, you know, this should be like a easy to do thing. Let's see. I mean, I think you should be able to like create your own spells, you know, not willy-nilly, just whenever. But if you put in the time to research and come up with a spell, and, you know, it works within a certain range, you know, assign a point cost to it, and you know, let the player do that. At least put it in the rules where, you know, the dungeon master can potentially allow it. You know, that right there will open things up and allow for a lot of cool stuff. Experience, you know, I think experience should be awarded a variety of basis. Hang on.